It's time to hog the airwaves with bikers' first-hand adventures across the country. Ride with us and keep yourself informed on issues, events, and everything else bikers want to know. The road is their home, and it's time to find out where are they now. You're listening to Good Time Charlie on Bikers Inner Circle, Underground Radio.
All right, how y'all doing? I'm Good Time Charlie, your host on Bikers Inner Circle. You just entered the internet highways. Man, we got a real treat for you. My good buddy Michael Lichter is coming on the show, and we're going to talk to him about his exhibit over at the Buffalo Chip. Each year he picks a theme, and we're going to find out what that theme is, and also some of the work he's been doing the last year, as he always does. He's a very busy man and great photographer, and just amazing the cool stuff that he gets on the camera. So we're going to get him on the line right now and get you all informed. So check it out. All right, Mike, how you doing, man?
Excellent. Thanks, Charlie.
Hey, it's good to hear your voice again. You know, once a year we get together over at the Buffalo Chip and stuff, and it's just an amazing time. I really miss you.
It's been too long, Charlie.
Yeah.
So that one time a year.
So what's some of the stuff you've been doing?
You know, I've been keeping busy this winter. You know, usually you'd think being a motorcycle photographer you'd be slow in the winter, and it's been absolutely balls to the wall because I started doing some of the Easy Riders bike shows again. For a number of years, I really just did the big Columbus show, and frankly, I shoot too many bikes too fast, so they could only use so many. But now the promoters of the event asked me to come out and actually show my work and just be there as a guest, which was great, and I did get to shoot bikes. So did a bunch of shows: Louisville, Greenville, Atlanta, Sacramento, Los Angeles, and Columbus, of course. And then other shows. It was Galveston for for that big Lone Star rally, which is incredible. It had a gallery exhibit down there. Even went off. Was overseas. Did a lot of stuff.
Now that show, the show in Galveston, kind of reminds me of my hometown during the Mardi Gras. They got that street, what is it called, the Strand? It's
called the Strand. You know,
yeah.
Charlie, I think that's one of the better bike events out there. It's more of a local event. When I say local, I don't mean just for Galveston. It's certainly Houston is close by, and Houston is a big part of that event. But it's really all of Texas and even some surrounding states. But I think it's one of those events that could even grow larger. And I don't know how you do that when they say they already have 400,000 people that come through there.
Yeah, it's
beautiful. That's pretty amazing. But it's a short event, short and sweet, and it is a lot of fun. You know, the town opens its doors up, and you get bikes down on the Strand 10 deep.
Yeah.
And, party in the streets. There's drinking in the streets, and it's really a cool event.
Yeah, I had some friends that had we went up to their balcony, and it reminded me so much of New Orleans because we were up on the balcony filming, and everybody was coming down the street, and it's just really good people out there in Texas.
Very good.
Yeah, so hey, you know, I know you can't let too much out of the bag on the theme for the exhibit at the Buffalo Chip. And by the way, folks, if you've never been to Sturgis, you got to make it there. And when you do, Michael Lichter's exhibit at the Buffalo Chip is amazing. Every year, it's just you know how you make a movie and then there's a sequel and you go, well, it wasn't as good as the movie. Well, somehow Michael every year tops the movie from the last year.
Oh, thanks, Charlie. It's last year was the 10th anniversary, so we're moving on year 11 right now. And actually, I can tell you quite a bit about it because I did release the name and basically what the show is about. So the new show for next summer will be called Slant Artist. That's the overall title is called Slant Artist, and then the subhead is An Eccentric View on Motorcycles and Art.
Wow.
And I think this will always be referred to as the Jeff Decker Show.
Wow, and you know, I was just thinking, you and Jeff Decker together is kind of like Batman and Superman and Batman or something. I mean, you put you two guys in a warehouse and put some stuff in there, and boy, no telling what could come out, you know?
Well, we're going to be having fun. So
yeah.
Now, as in most years, I'm not showing my own personal photography. So I've pretty much made the commitment now to show my work every 5 years in Sturgis at the gallery hall at the Buffalo Chip. And the reason for that is I certainly don't want to burn people people out of my own work and give time for things to change. And really the purpose of this is to promote art and motorcycling together, the art of motorcycling, the motorcycling in art. So the overall umbrella for this whole thing is called Motorcycles in Art. And the way I'm doing it this year is going to focus on Jeff. And Jeff will be not only the subject, but it's the mind of Jeff Decker. And if I can... Jeff has about 10 bronzes that we're going to put on display. And, of course, for those that don't know Jeff is a world-class sculptor.
Unbelievable.
I'm sorry?
He's unbelievable. I mean, his work is incredible. You're right.
He's a world-class sculptor. He works in clay and wax and then casts it in bronze, typically. And sometimes they're one-off or sometimes an addition of 20 or 25 bronzes, and they go as tall as 18 feet, like the one he has in front of the Harley-Davidson Museum, which was a commission from the Willie G. Davidson family as a gift to Harley-Davidson. So, and Jeff, it's not that his 10 sculptures are going to fill this 7,000 square foot gallery by any means,
right.
But he does have a good collection of bikes. There's about 10 of his bikes that we're going to put in.
Yeah.
And the idea behind this show is this eccentric view on motorcycling and art. It's one man's way of thinking. It's a way. I'm hoping that when people come through here, they're going to feel like they really understand who Jeff is. Now, keep in mind that most of his very good friends don't understand who Jeff is.
Oh yeah, Jeff. I had Jeff on the show last year, and you were talking about motorcycles. He's got that old Crocker, and a lot of folks, don't even remember Crocker. I mean, yeah, there's Harley Davidson and Indian, but Crocker, man, I mean, it's it's cool to have one of those old bikes.
Well, it's amazing that something that would sell for $100,000, and there's very few of them, that he would take that and customize one. So that's pretty eccentric right there. And that, of course, will be on display along with his. He has some other custom bikes as well as some antiques that he really admires, a hill climber, things like that. And by the way, Slant Artist is a name for a hill climber. That's where that name, Slant Artist, comes from, going up the hill. And these artists that can do that.
Wow,
so,
that's interesting. I didn't know that.
People that come through do have that understanding. But to do that, we're going to invite friends of Jeff, other artists and other bike builders that he admires, and perhaps people that have certain antiques that he thinks are very important antiques and that they've influenced him. And through showing all this different work and his own work, that people say, wow, this guy, we understand who this artist is and where he comes from in his work. And that's the goal of this year's show.
Well, you know what, Michael? Why I love you so much, and you're a lot like the people that I call legends, like John Lee Hooker and B.B. King and the guys I got to play with. They're very humble people, and it ain't all about them. They really reach out to showcase other people's works and stuff. And I try to do that with my website. I have preferred bands, and I have the Fry Brothers up and Big Mike Griffin and a lot of the bands that are out there that are writing songs about motorcycles and stuff. And I really try to play them on my radio show and all the cool stuff to get other people to hear it, and that's a great quality that you have, Michael. And your friendship is amazing with everybody. Everybody loves you, Michael.
Well, thank you so much, Charlie.
And hey, I wanted to talk to you. I've been talking to Jackie Mann, and the little town where Dave's from over there in Kansas City. They approved a park over there, and they want to put up a statue or something. And I mentioned Jeff Decker to Jackie and said, I bet you Jeff would be into maybe doing something like that, for David. So, I'm... Wow,
that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I just found this out. Jackie, Jackie's coming out here for my frog jumps, I do out here the Biker Bash.
Yeah.
And this is my third year, and man, last year I had about 3,000 people, but we're expecting about 4,000 people this year, and I got some folks, bike builders out here, and they got together and they made a award, and we're going to give Jackie a Lifetime Achievement Award for David over here at the event.
Wow.
Yeah, but she told me all about they okayed the little town, I guess it's Springfield, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it's a little town outside in Kansas City, and they want to donate this spot in the park where they put a statue up and stuff, and I think that is so cool, man. So I'm gonna maybe you can put the word in Jeff's ear for me before I talk to him or something.
Sounds great.
Yeah, and